Afternoon, everybody. Gonna get a video out. Gotta go to work again. Just a reminder for anyone who tried to request a spell a couple weeks ago and I didn't get back to you. It's because I was down sick. I would go to work and come home and pass out. I wasn't making videos either because I couldn't go more than 3 minutes without snot pouring out of my nose or hacking up a lung, which is why, you can't get in a meditative state, you can't perform magic. And since I'm not a scammer and I'm honest and have integrity, which is going to be the death of me, but that's why. So, if I didn't get back to you, try to get a hold of me again. I try to get back to everybody as quick as I can. Obviously, I have no staff. It's just me. I have a full-time job. I have modeling and acting, dealing with a state, and I got a lot going on, and it's all on me. And I got a personal situation that I'm in that it's weird, but I'm determined to figure it out. But what I want to talk about today is how the narcissist will make you fear failure. And I don't mean like how everybody feels failure. I mean, the narcissist will make it seem like failure for you is inevitable, not only if you leave them, but if you don't go along with their plan step by step. In other words, live the life they've laid out for you, which is a life of subservience to them. With a narcissistic parent, this could be, you're going to major in this and you're going to do this job because I say it's a good job. This is the situation I was in. Why is it? I was free and then the recession happened and, budget cuts and nobody was hiring firefighters. Like, you have to go to college. Yeah, because they tried that with me at first. And it's like, yeah, I could have not had college. Well, I was going to night school because, in the fire department, you need a fire science degree to get promoted. You got to be in the department 5 years before you can even sit for the lieutenant's exam. But anyway, I would have been, had that not happened at 19 years old, I would have been making the modern equivalent of like $58,000 as a 19-year-old kid. Yeah. But, the degree, any degree is a good degree. Don't listen to anything any boomers tell you. I'm not saying it's all of malice intent, but at best, what they're telling you is decades out of date. How things worked in 1983 isn't relevant anymore. The world's changed. They don't want it. They live off of nostalgia. But back to my point, I've diverged enough. So with the narcissist, as I said, the parent, they've laid out their life for you because you're just a reflection of them. If you were raised by a narcissistic parent, as I was, you heard that time and time and time again. But you're not their reflection; you're their dull reflection. Everything's about to make the narcissist look good because everything's an accessory, a property. It's all about them. The world revolves around them, their wants, their needs, their desires, their image, their bravado, their lies. This can be even more pronounced if you're in a relationship with a narcissist. Now, it should be easier to get out of the situation because if you're being raised by a narcissistic parent, until you reach a certain age, there really ain't much you can do. But it's one thing to, I'm going to run away at 15 versus, say you're 28 years old and you're in a relationship with a narcissist. It's like, I know it doesn't actually work this way, but theoretically, all you have to do is say it's over and there's nothing the narcissist can do. You have every right to break up with a narcissist. You run away at 15 years old, the narcissistic parents can send the cops to go drag you back. But relationships with narcissists, they break you down. And one of the things they break you down is failure. The narcissist, particularly if they're in a similar line of work, will try to be like, well, I made you what you are. A good example of this, and I spoke of it at length, I did a video about it. It's an INFJ video. I forget the title, but Alanis Morissette's the thumbnail. Her abusive narcissistic relationship with her manager, producer, something early in her career. The song Hands Clean is written about it. She literally wrote, that came out in 2002. She was, I would say, Me Too before Me Too, but INFJs are going to call people out. That's what we do. Abused INFJs always call out their abuser. That's it. I'm going to put it in the back. But classic example. where the manager made her feel like, well, you're nothing without me, you'll be a failure. This doesn't have to be just in the business, and it happens in the business all the time. Even for low-level people, I've seen it, because I'm on the fringes of the business, just a nobody on the fringes. But I see things, and occasionally I meet cool people. It's not the one I want. We all know who she is. I can't help it. She's my type. Anyway, even in like regular jobs, if you get involved with a narcissist you work with, they'll try to claim all your success as their own, because like, well, that was because of my influence and I made you what they are. That's crap. That's crap. Because what they're doing is they're trying to make you fear failure without them. Where it's like, you'll never progress any further without me. Or, subconsciously, they don't come out and say this because, they'd be exposing themselves like, well, if you're not with me, you'll be out the door. That's illegal. But other instances of this dynamic would be the target fears if they leave the narcissist, what the repercussions would be, what the retaliation would be. And you hear something enough, you start to believe it. Like, well, like, you start to suffer from imposter syndrome. Like, do I deserve to be where I am, or really is it just because of my link to the narcissist who, if they're a covert, may be fooling their coworkers? Because covert narcissists in particular, they're pretty good at, hypotikos, the wearer of masks, two-faced. The word hypocrite comes from. They're a little ancient Greek lesson. They're good at, that fake, very good actually at that fake corporate persona. But, you catch them outside of work, off the clock, and particularly behind closed doors with just a few people that, they think like them, you'll see the real them. Night and day, Jekyll and Hyde. Seen it. Dealt with it. Threw one through a glass wall. He deserved it. But that's the kind of dynamic. They're going to make you fear failure without their influence. So not only, and I talked about it at length, will they cripple you from pursuing what your true desires are, because it's like, well, you could never do anything like that. Like, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, because usually what that is, as it was in my case, is something that would break your chains. That would break your chains and set you free from the narcissist. And as it was in my case, and perhaps some of you listening, it's something that would cause you to move away. Because remember, the narcissist has to have their sphere of influence, their inner circle, their enablers, their flying monkeys. They can't just pick up and leave like most people, because, well, then they have to con a whole new group of people, and that may not work. Every time a narcissist goes somewhere new, they take a gamble of, can I con this new group of people, or are they going to see right through me? ENTP coverts are pretty good at it. Oh, he's so devoted, this and that. It's like, there's not an INFJ male here, is there? Because he'll call me out. Oh, thank God they're rare. But then, it's the scariest thing INFJs do to narcissists. It's like, well, don't you know who I am? The battle cry of the narcissist. Well, no, well, I'm blah, 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 and I've done blah, 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 blah. And my response, given my, history is, well, cool. Nah, I didn't do that. No, I wasn't a part of that organization. Nah, I was too busy saving lives, what are you gonna do? I don't pretend I do things for real. Are you impressed? No, because I'm not impressed. I mean, we could do this all day. Well, blah, 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 blah. Here comes the crescendo. I see right through you, right? Ooh, and then, yeah, here comes the spotlight. I did a video about spotlighting. So, in dealing with this fear of failure, confide in people who truly know you. Obviously, break free of the narcissist for so many reasons, because you are going to live in constant fear of failure with them, and they want to keep you in that perpetual state of fear. They need you to need them when you don't, when they need you because they're getting supply off of you, not the other way around. There's really nothing in it for you in a relationship with a narcissist except abuse and holding yourself back. You're diluting the person you truly are. You're not pursuing your dreams and desires, and it could potentially also be keeping you not just from living the life you want to lead, but like actually having the relationship you want with like the type of person you actually want, because you're chained to the narcissist. It's like, oh no, I belong to the narcissist. It's like, I really like this person, but I have to live my whole life to serve the narcissist, and that person's eventually the other person, the one that you actually like and have chemistry with. That guy's eventually going to be like, man, you can't save slave girls, and move on. That kind of dynamic. But the fear, which you have to realize, and a lot of, I help a lot of people get free of narcissists. One of the things I hear the most, particularly from empaths, and I talked at length about why narcissists pursue empaths. I can talk at it more, but one of the fears they have is that they become creatures of habit, the narcissist victim. And there's also that fear of change with failure and habit. Well, understand, take it from someone who's moved a lot, changed a lot of like has had change that I pursued, but also been thrusted upon me out of nowhere. Particularly if you've been with my channel for a while, the stuff I've been dealing the last 3 years has just been insane and all bad. But it's amazing how quickly you adapt and form a new schedule, more routine, literally a couple weeks, a month at most. So, that initial fear of something new, particularly if the something new is like a job or just leaving the narcissist, where you're not like picking up and moving, where you still have your support system. And it's also amazing when you get rid of the narcissist and cut them off, how much clearer your head gets, how quickly, not all of it, completely recovering. I don't even know if it's possible, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of recovering from narcissistic abuse that takes time, but there are some initial things that when you first get away, I noticed it when especially when you get out of their influence, like when I moved to Arlington in 2020, got away from the insanity that is, where I grew up. Oh, within a couple weeks, because I met a bunch of new people, all firefighters, and it's like, whoa, you want me to be the class leader? It's like, whoa. It's amazing how people will look at you, and how many people probably will like you for who you really are, when you're no longer being crushed down by the narcissist, and you're not having to deal with people who worship the narcissist because they feed off of their crumbs. So don't fear failure because the narcissist says you need them. You don't. You are failing because you're not being your true self, because you're not living the life you want. You're living a life in subservience to the narcissist, which is stunting you emotionally, career-wise, life path-wise, love-wise, relationship-wise, pretty much everything. They're feeding off of you. And you are becoming less and less of the person you truly are. Pieces of you are being chipped away. That is why you must go no contact. That is why you must pursue what your desires are and not live your life in subservience to others, because if somebody truly loves you, they are willing to make sacrifices, and they would do everything in their power to help you pursue what you truly want. Not tell you, no, that's wrong. You got to do this. Why? Because I say so and I know best. Yeah, no you don't. So, seek free will, seek empowerment, pursue your own desires. Hail Lilith.